Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. Today on the Daily Review, we discuss new stand-up special on Netflix by Burnham called Inside, with your host, me, Joe LaRocca. That's right. Hey, guys. Well, here it is. Here is the flare that is being shot over the battlefield of artistic achievement for the next decade to come. This is the guiding light. This is the most important piece of media released so far this year. Well, maybe I'm going nuts. All right, it's Bo Burnham. Never been a huge fan of him. You know, he started real young, doing YouTube videos and stuff, became a stand-up, directed the movie 8th Grade, which I didn't love. And, he's a child of the internet, born on YouTube, born in 99 from Hamilton, Mass., which isn't far from here. Went to St. John's Prep. We have a similar upbringing in that we both grew up in predominantly white New England communities that are mostly middle class and upper class. And he stopped doing stand-up for 5 years and decided then the beginning in January 2020 to get back into it. And then obviously COVID happens and he spends an entire year in this little room making his special, which is a combination of stand-up, like little videos and music videos, all kind of combined and all in this one room. And I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I thought it was so inspiring, and I'm so jealous. Basically, we need to talk about the month movies now. So from the years 2007 to 2018, I made a movie every year. And the way I did that was I would take a month and make a little movie every single day that month. So I started with February 2007, and I made all these little vignettes or whatever, and you string them all together. They don't kind of work individually as days, but the whole month as a whole can kind of work. And it ended up being like this diary, like a video diary, that if anybody made something every day for a month without even trying, you're going to be expressing something about yourself. And the best ones were the ones where I didn't even realize it. And then after or years later, I watched it and went, oh my God, isn't that so interesting how this theme comes up in like almost every movie, stuff like that. But, I think they're very personal and, they don't, I don't know, not a lot of people have seen them. They're all on my channel, but, they never really got out there. I also don't know how to get things out there, as you know. But really, when I saw this, I went, oh, that's like the perfect version of what I was trying to do. Like, that's what I was trying to do. I just love that kind of self-absorbed, self-indulgent, lonely boy, creative musical nerd shit. Gee, I wonder why. It's like I wrote a song called Strawberry Fields Forever. And it's pretty good. And I played it on the acoustic guitar, and it was all right, and I totally made it up. And then then the Beatles come out with Strawberry Fields Forever, and you go, oh, fuck. That's what it's supposed to sound like. Oh, that's what that would have been if I were also a genius, So, it's really great. I love the dark comedy of it. I love the music. At one point, he draws a Venn diagram of himself that just says for himself. It says on one side it says Malcolm X, on the other side it says Weird Al, and in the middle it says me. He's joking, but he does sound a lot like his singing voice sounds a lot like Weird Al, and his music sounds a lot like Passion Pit or the Mountain Goats, or a little bit like Father John Misty. But it's really funny. And he is aware of the self-serving nature and the fact that he's putting a spotlight on himself. And it's just so good. I think some of the things I like about it is that when I made the month movies, a lot of it, almost every single shot actually was done alone. So it creates this aesthetic of a non-moving camera a very limited focal range because there's nobody behind the camera moving it or adjusting the focus. So there's only like a limited stuff you can do. And then there's like kind of integrated in is him making it. And there's all this stuff where he has like a monitor and the camera's over there and he's like trying to see if it's in focus and then running and pressing record and running back to his spot. Like I have so much experience with that. That's like I could make a movie from all the month movies of me just returning to the camera to turn the, normally there's a person behind it turning the camera on and off or recording or not recording, so there's so much of that stuff. And then doing that and the audio and the lighting and the editing and coming up with everything and writing the music and stuff. He's just like an amazing version of what I would love to be able to do. Like, I mean, well, first of all, you can write music, like write songs, which is such a gap for me. I don't know how to do that at all. But some of my favorite songs were I liked White Woman's Instagram, which you can kind of guess what that's about. Can Anyone Shut the Fuck Up? That made me laugh for like 10 minutes. He gets to the point, which is like 2 or 3 layers of meta-ness, that being self-aware does not absolve you. Something we've discussed on this channel before. Like just knowing that you're a dick and going, well, I'm a dick. That doesn't make you not a dick, I also like that I feel that modern pop music is incredibly uncreative and lacks skill. It doesn't take the 10,000 hours that Malcolm Gladwell talks about to write to master your craft. A computer can do a lot of it, and as we've seen, just people in their bedroom just making pop songs that are just, without even having to know how to play an instrument or anything like that, which is fine. It's just a new type of music, but I find it, especially the most popular stuff, with exception, is highly uncreative. And I think it's so funny that someone like this can parody that music and make it equally as good. Like it's just as good, in my opinion, as that stuff, and it's almost more meaningful to me. At one point, he's crucified on a cross of light, which I was like, yes. This is what I'm talking about. So I could just relate to it. Man, they even do a thing that I did in the month movie where they do an intermission, and it's the identical font that I used. And I did that back in 2007. I'm better than Bo. No, I'm just kidding. He's much better than me. He gets a lot of mileage out of that Leica Spotlight. Holy shit. Those things are like $800 or something for a real nice one. I think he's got a nice one. I saw some digital numbers on the back. So it means it's pretty nice. And that's a Spotlight that's like, I was like, dang, I got to get one of those. That changes everything. Half the movie, like the supporting character in this movie is the lighting setup. He basically, it starts out fairly simple, and then you can tell that he just keeps ordering stuff online because the light, everything gets more and more complicated as it goes along. There's more tripods and lights and wires and cables and everything going everywhere. And you're just like, you could see the kind of madness, and he lets his hair grow. I don't know. Musically, it reminds me a bit of that 100% Fresh with Adam Sandler, in that it's like really catchy and funny songs. But this has a much darker undertone and kind of a message behind it. He also gets a lot of the digital zoom, because I think he's definitely shooting 4K, so he can at least, and he's doing these slow digital zooms, so that makes it, can give you the appearance that somebody is there. But no, there isn't. Another amazing part, he plays in a video game called Inside, the video game made by SSRI Interactive Games. And it's him doing a streaming, like playing the game, and the game is him. And all he can do is walk to the door and not open it and press A to cry. I don't know, man. It is so good. I really liked it. I think it's intimate, it's fresh, and it's the future. This is the future. All you need is one person in a room, if they're good. And especially him is from the generation where, since the technology is so democratized that everybody is everything. Back in the day, 50 years ago, it was like you were going to be an editor. You did that for your whole life because it was so complicated. It was like being a blacksmith. It was a skill that you had to learn. And you didn't want to mess up. There were stakes involved. Whereas now, you can just learn editing and copy, paste, delete. You really can't ruin your footage by any means, And it's still just as hard to be a great editor in terms of, in terms of the story and coming up with decisions, but the actual practice of it is so much easier. And that goes, same thing true with digital photography, and everything involved in it has kind of become cheaper and easier to do, so everybody can do it. And that creates a lot of people who think they can do it, like me, and then a lot of people who proven that they can do it, like Bo Burnham. So it's good. It's good. It's devoid of any of the stuff that I hate, which is maybe the most important thing for me. Anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling. I've said enough about this. I mean, I'm sure in like 6 weeks I'll come back and be like, wow, I went way too intense on how much I liked Bo Burnham's special and how I think it's the second piece of COVID media after that French film, Oxygen. I really was impressed, because I thought it was going to be like this self-serving bullshit, and he's pretty damn aware of everything, even his past too, and where he came from. Can you be funny stuck in a room? Good enough for an hour and a half of watching somebody, in my opinion. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Oh, I didn't see. Oh, you've watched some month movies. Oh, thanks, Eddie. The Star Wars figures. Yeah, I used to have a bunch of Star Wars figures in bubble, like still on card, and as they say, and then I just ripped them all open in a movie, and then just placed them all around my hometown. I didn't rip them all open. I ended up giving them to a comic book store, and they gave me the trade paperbacks, the 3 trade paperbacks of Animal Man. And I was like, yeah, that's a good deal. I'll do that. Anyway, I would watch this. I know, Eddie, you don't have Netflix, but maybe just get it for a weekend or something. Maybe you can do like a free trial, change your email, get into a free trial, and watch this and a few of the other things that I've recommended, because this is worth like $15, I would say, to watch this. So if you got to pay for a month of Netflix, I don't think you'd be out that much. But and if I were you, I would get Netflix like for a month or two every year and just watch everything you want to watch, and then just wait till next year. But him reacting to him reacting was like transcendent, man. That shit is so amazing. Oh, what's up, Alan? I don't know you. Yeah, nice. Thank you for visiting the channel. We're here every day talking about movies, trying to be Bo Burnham, apparently. I didn't even know I was trying to be him, but I am. He's my fucking hero. He's my Martin Scorsese. Well, Martin Scorsese is Martin Scorsese to me too, but this guy is just like, oh man. What, LJ, did you try and make a gritty mafia movie about you and your friends called Mean Streets? Yeah, no, this guy, that's fine. It's kind of good, because I think his older stuff would probably turn you off. Like, he did like childish kind of like parody songs on the internet, and I never was into him that much, or at all really. And I saw 8th Grade, and I was like, no, that's very good for a stand-up. Like most stand-up it like had some vision behind it, but I ultimately didn't like it. But it was interesting because it's very much about the internet and social media and the impact of your phone on little kids and stuff like that. So he is a product of the internet, and this is maybe the best thing that's ever happened to him. He was forced to confront everything. It's you can't. Yeah, it's good. What else did you like about it, Alan? But yeah, he reacts to him reacting to him reacting, which is very much like that guy, Brad Taste in Music. But my God, the meta-ness of it. Yeah, that's okay. I didn't recognize your name, Alan, so I was trying to greet new people. There wasn't any of it that I didn't like. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna watch it again right now. Fucking Bo Burnham Inside for President, baby. Oh, you weren't joking. LJ, yeah, you produced it in the form of a movie from the 1800s? Can we see this movie somewhere? LJ, we need to see your 1800s Mean Street Scorsese movie. I put all my month movies on the internet, and some of them are not great. One of them the audio cuts out on because I put a song on, but I'm just gonna leave that gone. Thank you, Eddie. Everybody check out my month movies. They're really important. They're not important. They're important to me. They got some good stuff. But... Oh, on paper. You gotta get that thing. I want to see it on paper. Alright, I'm gonna figure out what's going on with this music. And then I will talk to you guys later. No, I don't have. I had a bunch of pocket operators. I had 4. I had the sub. I had the drummy drum one with the green. Arcade. PO20, I believe it's called. It's purple. And KO. I think KO is the best one. That's the one you can sample and do everything with. But then I sold them all to buy, because basically if you have this, an OPZ, it's kind of all of them smashed together. Especially once they added the firmware to do sampling. And so I was just like, oh, well, I'm just going to get that because I use it all the time. And I've used this every single day for 2 years. I think it's one of the best things I've ever bought. I know that there's all sorts of like this thing kind of pops out a little bit. Oh, sorry. Wait. Sorry, the camera's backwards. This thing kind of pops out, and it does do the double button push sometimes. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of amazing for what it can do. I mean, it can control lights and video as well, and I never bothered doing that. Well, I mean, I don't have a DMX system to use the lights with, but I probably should use the video stuff. It'd be pretty cool in the background, but I haven't. And then, yeah, the pocket operators are amazing, though, and they chain together so well. So if you aren't going to go deep, I would get 1 or 2 of those if you're into this stuff. They're like, they range between $50 and like $80. And I like the little silicone cases that go on them too. I recommend those. Um, no, but you're not the first person to recommend Plantasia. Or maybe you were the one who did initially. I don't even listen to this type of music. I like like indie rock garage music from like the 90s. Like I like Guided by Voices and Radiohead, which isn't that, but and a band called Frog Eyes is one of my favorite bands. But okay, all right. We've gone nuts. But then I moved over, Alan, to the Euro rack, which basically because Trump started giving me money for no reason. So I went, all right, I'm going to put this back into the economy because I don't really believe the reasons I'm getting it. That was the reason I did it, guys. It was this political, moral reason. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. I'm done. I'm done. Am I done? I think I'm done. Basically, guys, I'm like a combination of Weird Al, except I don't do songs, and Malcolm X, except I don't do anything about social justice. Although I do believe in violent action. Bye, guys. Have a nice Wednesday. Cool.